For those of you that are interested in purchasing a miter saw, let's dive into why I went with the DEWALT 780 12-inch miter saw and why I love it so much. When shopping for our miter saw, we narrowed it down to the two saws DEWALT has to offer, the 779 and 780. Besides the cost difference of about $200, there are significant features the 780 offers over the 779 that we had to consider. The DEWALT 780 miter saw is geared towards the professional carpenter and therefore has features that you may not necessarily need, but they were a contributing factor as to why I went with this model. Now let's dive into some key features. This 780 has a higher back extension that is geared to better supporting crown molding, which we all know can be difficult to cut. What helps is the ability to lock the saw's travel at the optimal distance to take advantage of the 12-inch blade when cutting. There are also set stops at 22.5 degrees and 33.86 degrees, making setup a breeze. Now I recognize this is a minor difference between the saws, but the handle that bevels the saw is metal compared to plastic on the 779. Not a big deal, but I suspect that the metal handle will last longer than plastic. Call me crazy, but my absolute favorite feature, and was the primary reason for spending the extra money, was the integrated cutline LED work light. With my previous saw, I found myself triple checking my cuts, and this shadow line makes even the most inexperienced miter saw operator, me, have the confidence to cut with accuracy and save time. Now this saw is not perfect. I did find two shortcomings, one particularly significant. The first being the cost. There are many miter saw options out there that are significantly cheaper. It's just a matter of what features you can or can't live without. The biggest shortcoming is hands down the dust collection system on the 780 miter saw. The collection is at the rear of the saw, so this needs to be factored in when building a dedicated miter saw workstation, giving the saw ample room to slide. When connected to a shop vac, the amount of dust and debris collected is pretty bad. It surprised me that DEWALT didn't put more thought into designing this dust collection system given its price point. Maybe their intended user was on a job site, so dust wouldn't be an issue. But no question, this is the biggest fault not only on the 780, but the 779 as well, as they are both identical in this area. Now after some research, Travis at Shop Nation, who I've linked below, solved the problem. He designed, engineered, and 3D printed a dust collection system that can be installed in about 15 to 20 minutes with basic hand tools. What's different from other retrofits is his system doesn't hamper the operation of the saw at all. It performs regardless of cutting 90s, 45s, or compound miters. You don't need to adjust, remove, or add anything to the collection system when making these cuts. You would never even know this was an aftermarket system by looking at it, a testament to Travis's design. But how does it perform? This system captures about 90 to 95% of the dust utilizing a cyclone dust separator and a basic shop vac. The functions, features, and higher quality materials of this saw were enough to justify the additional cost for me. After having done a few projects and comparing my old saw to this DEWALT 780, the additional features really stand out, and it's hard to imagine going back to a saw where these aren't available. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.